Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope we're having a fantastic and amazing day today. By the end of this episode, I would like to have some tree farms going, I would like to have some nurseries happening with some medicinal herbs, and I would like to get into leatherworking, but we'll see if we get that far. We did have another fantastic comment, so thank you again for that. This is the same person who did the great comments on our last episode, and they continued to give me some more great tips that I'm going to share with you here in case you haven't seen the comment. They suggested to go ahead and put some storage yards out and about where you're going to be gathering goods. And I can't believe I didn't think about this. It's just a quick access point. So like when we gather up all this space in here, all the trees and whatever is here, instead of having to run all the way to wherever the nearest spot to store stuff, they just go right to the storage yard that's right here, and then they're good to go back. It's such a faster process. It's just super smooth and great. So I put one right here. I put another one over here. I put a couple over here. Anywhere that we were gathering up, I just kind of plopped down a storage yard there. As you can see, this one's doing pretty great. The one thing that becomes kind of a thing is like with this one, you notice we have a lot of water here. And that's partly because we don't have a great storage system kind of in town here. We have a couple warehouses here and there, but nothing super duper. I would probably ban a couple things in here, like the water and the coal. Like I don't need coal way out here, so we could go ahead and go up into storable items, go down to ores and take ore out of there. That's gonna also move the iron ore, so I think that was pretty awesome. The person who left the comment also suggested that we move some of our geese. So we currently have 2 pastures running right now with geese. We have 9 in each for a total of 18 geese, and we did complete a big pasture over here. So I have this number 8 pasture for some geese. Look at this, 64 max capacity of geese. Current is 50, which is a lot. The thing that I learned, another thing that they shared with me, is that your pastures can create critters without somebody working in them. I haven't put a worker in this one yet. We started with, I think it was 9 geese, and we're up to 57 already. So even just when we've been talking here, this short time, we've got 7 geese. So this is working really great. I'm probably gonna go ahead and move 2 people over here, probably from this, and we are gonna get some excellent geese things happening. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be great. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn these pastures off. We'll probably even destroy them, or maybe we can put some alpaca in there. And we'll go ahead and put 2 people in that one. And now we're looking awesome with 63 out of 64 geese in our pasture. Wow, super great. Thank you for that tip. Having the big pastures is kind of fun. It's kind of cool to see all the critters running around like that together. A couple of maintenance-y things that we need to do around the town here. First of all, we're looking great on food. We have that figured out. It was that farming efficiency from the last episode that we finally got into. Look at that difference, 3,200 food. It's not a problem right now. The problem comes in when we talk about water. I did put 2 more people on the big well here, so we're back to 6 people. It hasn't been enough. So we are, I think, are gonna have to build another big well. So we're gonna go ahead and put a big well down. I think we'll just plop it somewhere here kind of in the corner. We're also looking at medicinal herbs. So I mentioned I would like to get those sometime in this episode. We don't have enough tech points to get there just yet, but if we go ahead and check out agriculture, we can get the nursery, but we need the herb knowledge seeds before we can even do anything with the nursery. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna learn this. We're pretty close to the next tech point, and we're gonna get a couple of them built up. Here we got the nursery and the agriculture menu, and we're gonna go ahead and grab it. We are probably gonna go ahead and find a nice spot to build a bunch of these. Ooh, we could go like right in here to start with for like 2, 3. So let's go ahead and we'll do 1 there and we'll do 2 there to get us a little bit started here. We are gonna need more than that, absolutely. But to get started, we'll put the 2 down. We're waiting for some timber and some clay. I think we have the clay. Ooh, we got clay for one of them. In that case, let's pause the one nursery. This is going to allow us to actually complete one of the buildings, so we'll just pause the one for now. We got a big well ready to go. Let's go ahead and get some people working in there, and we are getting low on laborers again. We got an immigrant batch on the way. Our thing here says that we are in the green with the water now, so hopefully that one big well is going to get us pretty far. 2 people may have been too many in there to start with, but we can always turn it back if we want. Our timber is looking all right. Like I mentioned at the beginning, we've been marking stuff. We're using that new method with storage yards to be getting more efficient and getting things like crazy. It's been working really great. I'm happy with it. Now we're kind of running low on iron ore. We've been using it, picking it up, as we see it. There's still quite a bit of it over here. We're looking all right with it. We have our nice storage yard right here. We'll go ahead and we'll gather a couple of these guys up over here. We'll just gather all because we need everything. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll utilize that storage yard that's right here. The last thing we got here is alcohol and snacks. It is showing red. And the reason why I think it's showing red is because if we go over to here to our distilleries, we have a cap of 350 and we're over that. So I would imagine that they're not producing nearly as many spirits this year. So it appears that we're in the negative. I think it's what that is happening there. But you can see we did create 60 last year and we're up to 33 so far this year. And this distillery and this other distillery is 140 last year and 65 this year. So this one's working a little bit more than the first one, but we're getting enough spirits is what I'm getting at. We'll keep our eyes on that. If that starts to fall pretty far below 350, like 300-ish, then we'll crank it up. We'll build another distillery. We do have a bunch of citizens that want some houses built. My biggest issue with that has been, of course, having enough timber to do so. So I've been kind of just sprinkling them in as we go along here. We did just get our second tech point, so let's go ahead and come back up here and we'll get our herb knowledge. So now the thing with this is, just because you unlock herb knowledge here, that doesn't mean you can grow medicinal herbs right away. You gotta find the seeds. So we see here, citizens now have a chance to get herb seeds while collecting herbs. So one more point, we'll get into our forest farms. So the way to do this is to go find some. So as you know, we can see plants around the map like this, right? The problem is it's really hard to tell what things are. So what we got to do is we're just going to go ahead and just gather plants. We'll eventually find what we're looking for here. Also, your gatherer does have a chance of finding it as well, but we're out and about gathering things like crazy anyways. So we'll probably just run into it. So we're going to go ahead and mark a few spots, of course, around our storage spaces to hopefully find some medicinal herb seeds. Check it out. We finally got some herb seeds. It took a long time to find these guys, but we finally got them going. We got them going right here in our nursery, and we are now ready to move into our technologies and go ahead and grab our forest farm. So we are going to be completing this whole tree, finally. Waiting for a little bit more tech points to hopefully get that leather at the end of the episode here, but we'll see what we end up with. I was clearing everything over here, looking for those herbs and getting some wood, of course. I decided to put a couple mines in over here, and we're not going to build them just yet. I'm thinking for the future with the mines over here that we could do some blacksmithing. We could also do some steel refinement. We'll make some of these guys harvest up some coal, some iron, and I'm thinking we'll do that kind of in this general area. And then working our way up here, we have this nice flat area that kind of opens up out over here. And I'm thinking that in here is where we're going to start building our forest farms. So we're going to go ahead and get to agriculture here. I'm going to grab our forest farm. Now, I'm not certain how big is too big with these. I usually go about 10 by 10. So I'm going to try and push it a little bit more. Since we learned that the pastures are way better when they're bigger, I'm going to guess that the forest farms are similar. So this looks like it's kind of a little bit more restricted than our pastures. So let's see, how big can we go? It looks like we can go about 15. Let's go ahead and we'll do one 15 by 15. I'm only going to do the one for now. We'll have maybe 2 workers in there. We'll see how that goes. We're also having a little bit of difficulty right now with some laborers. I get a batch of laborers. Then the current workers we have, like right now, it says here, have died of old age. I had somebody slip on a banana peel and die, and somebody got hit by a meteor. So a lot of unfortunate events happening right now with some of our people, but we do have another batch of immigrants on the way here, and I'm going to employ a lot of those guys into these forest farms here. Ooh, refugees in need. A group of people came to town with large and small packages. A tornado hit their original settlement and completely destroyed their shelters. Fortunately, all of them had survived through the disaster and took the remaining food to look around for a new place to live for the winter. Accept them or refuse them. So we need 100 fuel to accept them, but we have 1,000. So we're going to absolutely accept these refugees. I was just saying we could use a couple more people. We got a handful of people. We're up to 10 now, and 500 potatoes. So we're doing fantastic with food right now. We're well over 8,000. I even took a farm out. So yeah, we have food figured out. It's pretty awesome. Even with our 4th well operating, we're still kind of in the red with water. So I might need to throw in another well. I was going to give it a little bit more time and see where we end up with it. Likewise, our distillery dropped below 350, started to operate again, brought us up to 350, and now we're in the green. Fuel is kind of looking rough, and clothing is looking a little meh as well. So we may need to build another nursery also to get a little bit more medicine and start to work our way into the green with that. So with these 10 workers, I am going to need a little bit more clay. So I do have one person in there right now working on the sand pit, getting us some clay. I'm going to throw another one in there. I did build another reed field as well to try and get more paper happening. So we're going to go ahead and throw one person in there. We're kind of at the point now, finally, where we can start to build up a little bit of industry things. We have food figured out. Water's okay. We're working on it. And we finally got our medicines. So I'm really excited to start really getting into this stuff. The next thing we want to get into is probably going to be leatherware right here. So we have the leatherware hut. And this is something that I don't normally get. And kind of what I'm doing in this playthrough is trying some things earlier than what I would normally do. So this guy's going to produce leather shoes and handbags. Now, I'm not certain, but I'm going to say the handbag is probably something that's going to increase your inventory so they can carry more stuff all at once. And shoes are going to make them run a little bit faster. We're going to need some planks, and then the problem comes in with cut stone. So we're going to need 30 cut stone for this, and we don't have the tech yet. So what we can do, there is a workaround. We can use our little trade guy right here, and we can send a caravan out and grab some cut stone. All right, so I think we're going to go see Rania. We got 4 caravan members. We're buying insurance. We're going to buy some cats, 4 of them, and some cut stone. I know we only needed 30. I'm going to go for 100 so we have a little bit more. So those 4 people that we got are going to go out. They're going to go do the caravan things. And we have 4 laborers left. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to continue to select stuff for gathering. I'm going to keep doing that. As you can see, our storage yards are getting pretty full. We're just going to keep working on those, get those as full as we can get them, and just keep on keeping on. We're doing okay on wood, which is really nice finally. But we want to keep that up. We don't want to run out. I feel like with a 5th person here in the mine, we have found a really good sweet spot with making enough coal that is heating our home so we don't have to use as much timber, which is then allowing us to build up our timber stocks. Something else that I would like to do once we get our forest farm up and running, and this is something that our friend who's been commenting us, giving us nice tips here, said to do, and that's to use the poop that we're producing from all of our pastures as compost with the compost maker. So we're going to do that, and that's going to, of course, go on our farms, make our farms even better. So we'll go ahead and we'll find our compost guy here, and we'll put one in. Here's our compost plant guy right underneath agriculture. It's going to take dried animal dung and make it into fertilizer. It's going to provide a buff of fertile soil in the highlighted area. So that's pretty cool. It's something I didn't realize was going to happen. So if we click on this, you can see here the green that happens, that's going to become fertile, which is really interesting because not only does the compost plant itself provide the fertilizer, the area around it gets better. So that's a neat little bonus that I wasn't really aware of. So we're going to go ahead and tuck this in right here. It's going to benefit 3 farms. So that's not super duper, but we could even put another farm up in this space. So we'll work on that once we get to it. We're doing pretty great with food, like I mentioned, so we don't need another farm. We're going to continue to work on getting some forest farms set up. We have only 2 laborers left. So once these immigrants get here, we'll throw them on the forest farm, and we'll see how much wood we get coming in. We'll probably need more than 1. We'll probably build like 3 or 4. And then we'll have the tech point pretty soon here. We'll get the leather worker going, and we'll get that stuff happening. All right, so our caravan is just rolling back into town, which is awesome. They're going to have that cut stone for us and give us the 4 workers back. And we have our tech point. We're going to go ahead and get to processing and leatherware. Let's get a leatherware hut started up here. It's going to be under processing. And here's our leatherware hut. So we're going to go ahead and grab it. We'll put it in, and we'll see what the recipes look like. I don't remember the last time I even built a leatherware hut, so I don't remember what all is a part of it. I think we're going to put the leatherware hut like about right in here. I'm thinking here because it's kind of close to the critters around here. So when they're slaughtered, of course, you're going to get some leather from the bison. We'll be right nearby the leatherware hut to utilize that and make whatever things we want to build with it. Our storage yard here has plenty of leather in it, so it's all right in this area. Up over here, where I was talking about adding in some more forest farms, I cleared out and I disabled, for more or less, the storage yard. I'm going to wait to delete it until we have some of our warehouses built up over in this little block. And that way they can take all the goods and put them right into the warehouse. They don't have to go super far away. So I'm just holding up on that. I want to get rid of that and to get a couple more forest farms up in here. But for now, we're just waiting for our leatherware hut. We do need some more planks. So I got our sawmill over here. We're working on planks. We're going to get somebody in there to get that happening. We need 40 planks. but we should have our cut stone. There it is. We have 100. So that's awesome. That's good to go. We also have the 4 cats that we can trade to Carlos in a future caravan here. And we're really close to more immigrants. So all sorts of things are coming together. It's looking awesome. I'm really excited to see what all is a part of the leatherware hut here. That's going to really help to get things moving around here. We're going to have better shoes and higher carrying capacity, and we'll be able to have like the best efficiency almost that we can have with our people running around. As soon as we get better roads, then we'll be looking super. Our leatherware hut is complete. We have Sarah working in here, and we get to choose what we're going to make. So we have fine handbag, leather shoes, and boots. So if we hover over the fine handbag here, it says that luxuries made from refined leather at the leatherware hut. It's a valuable trade good. Okay, so it's not something that increases the carrying capacity of our workers, but that's just fine. It's a good trade good. We don't have any refined leather just yet, so we can't do any of this stuff. Leather shoes only require leather. We have almost 3,500 leather in reserves, and then boots are going to need some refined leather and or seal fur. So currently we can only do regular leather shoes. We are going to absolutely get that started up. For now, we're only going to have one person working in there, and I got a couple of things to show you. Okay, so in our little town over here, we had some housing up going on in here. I took them out because I took them out. My thought was eventually here, we're getting to the point where we're going to need to start thinking about the hospital and pharmacy. We're a little ways out, but it's got to be something to think about. I had some immigrants come in. I noticed some of them had some diseases. We dealt with them just fine because we prepared for that, because under education, we have medicinal research and skin disease. I was thinking we probably want to get the bathhouse here pretty quick, and we will need the theater eventually. So I cleared this little space out. I'm thinking bathhouse in here and maybe the theater. In addition to that, since I'm taking out the houses there, and we're kind of getting to the point where we're needing more houses. 20 citizens want new housing, so we got to think about it. What my thought was, I have a tailor up here and a smithy up here. If we click on our marketplace, these are within the range of the marketplace, so they're taking up real estate. So what I did is I'm placing a new tailor and a new smithy down here to replace the ones that we had. So I'm just essentially moving them. As well as this research institute, I'm building another one down here, and I might do another one kind of in this space. With that same idea of moving our tailor out of here and our smithing out of here, we also have these 2 sawmills here. And there is a more efficient sawmill, and the one that is sitting on the water sawmill here is going to have greater efficiency. So I think I'm going to put 2 more of these in. And I think what we'll do, we'll put one up over here, and then we have this nice new little area we're working on. I think this would be a grand old spot for our second watermill. So we're going to swap those out as well, and then we'll have better sawmills going, again, moving them out of that circle. So a couple little things that I'm working on there. Our sawmill looks like we are at cap 200, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. We had a couple things getting built that needed the planks, including the leatherware hut and our compost plant, which is also complete. This guy is going to have Vera working in here, and we're going to choose fertilizer from animal dung and water. Okay, again, there's that water. So we're doing okay now. We're at 1,400 water, but something else taking water up is something we have to consider, and we may need to throw in another well. We need one more person over here in the nursery to try and figure out how many we're going to need so that we can get our medicines figured out, going really well. And then up over here, we did get our forest farm going. I only have 2 people in there right now. I was thinking maybe we let this roll for a while with 2 people and then throw 2 more in there and see how it does. And then once I came up over here to click tree seeds, I was reminded, hey, we have bamboo seeds. So something I would like to do is probably this forest farm. We will use this forest farm for some bamboo. And then that bamboo, since we have that paper mill, remember, we have 2 actually. We have this paper mill and this paper mill. So we can take reeds or timber into paper. We don't care about this one. We want to use this one. And this paper mill is going to use bamboo into paper. So what that's going to do, instead of using our reeds to make paper, which we're currently doing, we will be able to fully commit our reeds to baskets, into rope, into nets. And that's, I think, going to be the smart play. And I think we'll work on that in the next episode. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me and watching this one. I've been trying something new as far as my editing goes with this stuff. So let me know what you thought about that. If you like the new style I'm trying to kind of do. I'm still doing a lot of learning, and it's might be a little rough around the edges, but I would love your feedback. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night, and I hope to see you again soon.